Hey, what's up guys, it's Mark Yoon, and today I'm bringing another hopefully exciting video. So keeping with the tradition of our new lore videos for the new timeline for this week, we have Voldo today. He's been highly requested of me, so I'm finally getting around to doing it, so I hope you enjoy. So he's one of those characters that in the new timeline actually has a timeline that's not so different from his old one. There's just tweaks here and there, but it's still important to cover them. Especially when we're talking about the Malfesta next week, which I think he needs to play a role of. But with that being said, we're going to just jump right in. So obviously, we know about his weird self-taught contortionism, which I shouldn't say weird, because a lot of people like him. But he is one of the more unique aspects of SOULCALIBUR. Definitely, I think, the most unique character, I want to say. His master is Virchi, obviously, who has been deceased, so that gives him his whole thing. And it's his first appearance in the new timeline, because this is the first game in the new timeline. His nickname is the Hell Guardian. His biography is as follows. The Money Pit was an expansive, deep hole in the middle of an island in the ocean. It was created as a place to hoard the magnificent treasures collected by Virchi, a weapons dealer. Naturally, such fortune attracted the attention of more than a handful of thieves. But the Money Pit was not without its protection. In addition to numerous traps, it was guarded by a character wielding strange weapons, Virchi's former right-hand man, Voldo. Having lived in the pit since the death of his master, he had lost his eyesight, but still continued to deal out cruel punishments to any and all who dared attempt to steal his master's valuables. Voldo left the Money Pit for a short period to search for his master's most desired treasure, Soul Edge, the ultimate weapon. During that time, the Great Storm flooded the pit, causing extensive damage, and many of its traps were destroyed. Voldo did his best to make the repairs, but invaders attacked before he could finish. One of these marauders was a woman wielding a strange weapon, Ivy, whom Voldo had just succeeded in holding at bay. She did, however, manage to escape with one of Virchi's most prized items, his notes. Prioritizing their return, Voldo left the pit once more, but that wasn't the only reason for his departure. The woman emitted the same aura as the Soul Edge. Perhaps she knew its whereabouts. Doggedly, he pursued her, until eventually they met. While he was able to retrieve Virchi's notes, he found out that Soul Edge had been destroyed. On his return to the Money Pit, he reported to his master, whose words of appreciation made the loyal Voldo proud and even momentarily joyful. The bond between him and his master Virchi was unbreakable. The weapons that Voldo uses are called Manas and Ayas. Virchi was the head of the Berg family. He amassed a great wealth and had earned the nickname Merchant of Death for his role in arms dealing. A collector of weapons, he possessed numerous items for all around the world. These Katars are more commonly known as Jahamadars, and were once stored in the Money Pit. Virchi used them to teach the right-hand man Voldo about the art of being a weapons dealer, so Voldo treasures them dearly. The weapons entrapping the leads some mistake for them ornamental pieces, but tasted of blood countless intruders. So an error in judgment could very well turn out to be a grave one. After spending years and years in the dark depths of the Money Pit, Voldo had eventually lost his eyesight, but acquired excellent hearing and heightened awareness, and easily made up for this loss, making him pretty much the daredevil of the SOULCALIBUR universe. His eccentric fighting style perhaps developed in response to the unusual environment of the vault, and consisted of bizarre, unpredictable moves that make use of his height and flexibility. Despite the strangeness of many of his thrusts and slashes, every attack Voldo makes is deadly and designed to kill. Countless robbers have foolishly entered the Money Pit, unaware of that terrifyingly guardian who lurks beneath it, within one who is able to survive among the deadly traps dotted along the vault, right up until their death. Many never even realized it was just a few feet away. Hidden in the darkness lures a terrifying guardian about to strike. So Voldo being one of those characters that is the most eccentric and unique to the SOULCALIBUR franchise, he actually, in my opinion, deserves a little bit more of the story time. It's odd to see we see such a human turned into such a uncontrollable killing machine without being touched by Soul Edge. It's not as if he's malfested, it's not as if he is possessed, he's just that loyal to his master, Master Virchi, that he stayed there even after his master's passing to guard his sacred treasures. I mean, he defended it against everyone and all who would come and try and take any of the treasures, and even pursued Ivy just to get his notes back. Now, we don't know what the future may hold for Voldo. He's never really been truly utilized in such a fashion where he can actually be put on one side or the other. His alignment is evil, but I mean, he doesn't really do much to actually veer along those lines. I think as an interesting character as he is, it'd be nice if we get more story and more character development for him in this upcoming timeline, in the fact that maybe he does in fact get possessed, and maybe he regains his eyesight, but he's only seeing through the eyes of the sword, and maybe tracking down what he envisions to be his enemies are in fact the enemies of the sword, maybe projecting the image of Virtue in his head, giving him a new mission and leaving the money pit to once more go out and find it. I think this would also help to actually give us the money pit as an actual stage, because it is sorely missed. And it would also help him maybe utilize some of the other weaponry that is found in there. I'm not saying that he should replace his blades, because I actually like them, but I think it would be a cool thing if we would see a few more moves that incorporate some of the money pit's ill effects, even treasure throwing or something to that ilk. Now, as somebody that's got such a strange and unwary visage within the SOULCALIBUR franchise itself, I think he should be not treated with kid gloves, and he should have the ability to cut loose. I think being possessed by the sword would be a great way to actually get him out into the open and encounter the new heroes and their new legacy. It would be great to actually see him like develop his own character, like maybe after being broken by the possession of Soul Edge, maybe he realizes or believes that Virtue was the one that helped him out of the possession, and thinks that he needs to go on a new mission. Maybe that's why he finally leaves the money pit and joins his side. We don't know if this will change his personality much. I mean, he has changed quite a bit, and I don't think he should go back to the way he was before, but I think it would be cool if he modifies his body, maybe adds some blades, or does some other cool things in SOULCALIBUR 7 that makes him like more of a force to be reckoned with outside of just his contortionism and his weaponry. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you think Voldo has been underutilized? Do you like his new backstory? Do you think that they should add anything to him in SOULCALIBUR 7, or should he just be kept in the depths and guarding the money pit forever? Any and all thoughts are always appreciated in the comment section down below, where we can start a great conversation. And as always, guys, thank you. Thank you. Hey, what's up, guys? Have you always wanted some sweet Mark Yoon merch? Maybe a thick U shirt, maybe a shirt from Squirt, maybe my pretty face with my logo all over your body, or a throw pillow, or blanket, or anything? Well, you're in luck, because I just launched my merch store, and it is going to be available on Redbubble, and you will find a link to it in my description box down below. It's got a lot of quality content and a lot of good stuff for you to pick up, so you can show your support for the channel and just rep Mark Yoon. Alright, guys, as always, thick U.